Hey, I'm Rebecca Mickey and welcome to the 10-Minute Masterclass. In this masterclass, we're going to be looking at finding the perfect time to start sleep training. So let's get started. One of the questions I am most often asked is, when can I start sleep training my child? And we don't have any definite answer here. It depends on so many different factors. So I want to tell you a little bit about what I look at when I'm working with families as to when the best time to get started with sleep training. Now, I have heard from as young as 6 weeks, which I think is really, really young. And some people have heard all the way up to sort of 16 months, 2 years old. And so we're looking at what is going to be the best time for your unique child. Every child has their own unique personality and their own unique temperament. This is something that we can't change, but it's something that we can work with. So whenever I work with families privately or even in the Sleep Academy, then there's a temperament quiz, and you can actually just follow the link below here, and you will then be taken to a page where you can just sign up. You'll get access to the temperament quiz as well as the download. Now, this temperament quiz is the temperament quiz that I use when I'm working with families, and this temperament quiz is one that Tracy Hogg, the baby whisperer, with her book Secrets of the Baby Whisperer, it's the temperament quiz that she came up with, and it's really, really helpful. In this quiz, she has identified 5 different temperament types. We have angel baby, textbook baby, touchy baby, spirited, and grumpy. And these are going to really sort of define who your child is. Now, you'll go through the quiz and you will then see that the answer comes up with your child's main temperamental type, but they're going to be a mixture of all of these different temperaments. And so what I look at when I'm looking at this quiz that families are doing is we're looking at the main 2, maybe even 3 temperaments there, because that is going to really, really tell me a lot about who that child is. So angel and textbook children are really laid back and easygoing, pretty predictable, seem to be falling into patterns with their sleep and with their feedings. Now, they may certainly have any of those other temperaments there as well, which certainly can make things interesting. So they may be more laid back, easygoing, but when it comes to sleep, they may be more touchy or spirited temperament. We have touchy temperament, which is more of a slow to warm up, so a little bit more shy and reserved. We have a spirited temperament where children are more intense, and that's with everything, where they're more intense with their reactions to things. That's not just negative, that's where things can be very, very sad or hysterically funny. And then we have the grumpy temperament. I don't really like the name of that, but the grumpy temperament is where children are just really not afraid to let you know their feelings, and they just do seem to be just a little bit more reserved, let's say. And so those are the 5 main temperament names that Tracy Hogg identified. And looking at your child's temperament will really, really tell me when we can start getting started with some sleep training. In the download that you get where you find your temperament quiz, you're going to find a flowchart there as well, which is going to be super easy for you to identify the best time to get started. We can get started with sleep training earlier with children who are all more laid back, easygoing. So those angel textbook temperaments, we can get started a little bit earlier. So even as young as 4 months, as long as the technique is gentle. You wouldn't want to be doing any cry it out technique. I personally don't think you should be doing a cry it out technique until a child is over 7-8 months old, maybe even older, because in these first few months it's so much about attachment. But laid back, easygoing children, so either the angel or the textbook temperament, we can get started anywhere between 4 and 6 months, as long as the technique is gentle. If we have a touchy child, a spirited child, or a grumpy child, I would not get started with a gentle technique until they are over 6 months of age. And I would not use a cry it out technique at all for any of those 3 temperaments, simply because they don't really work. Your child can cry for hours and hours and hours if they're being left to cry. So much more hands-on gentle techniques work from 6 months of age with those children who are touchy, spirited or grumpy. Make sure that you follow the link below this video. You can then get signed up. You can then have access to the temperament quiz, as well as the download where you're going to find that flow chart for when is the best time to get started with sleep training. Please leave your questions below and let me know what age it was that you got started sleep training your child and what techniques that you used. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.